3 of the fantasy baseball season, and here's a few pitchers I look to pick up and add this week. Off the wire, the first guy, Miley of the Milwaukee Brewers. So far, it's been a good offseason signing in the first few outings here for the Miley and the Milwaukee Brewers here. So on the season for Miley, 18 innings pitched, 14 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 14 strikeouts, a 1.50 ERA, and a 0.89 whip. So right now, Miley's going out there versus 2 pretty good teams and a mediocre team in the Diamondbacks, and he's pitched good baseball so far. Surprisingly available right now in 83% of fantasy leagues. April 4th versus the Mets, 6 innings, 5 hits, no runs given up, 3 strikeouts in that ball game. April 10th at the Diamondbacks, 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts in that ball game. And April 16th at the Padres, what a ball game for him. 7 innings, 4 hits, no runs, quality start, 8 strikeouts, and got the victory. So right now, Miley playing good baseball. This Milwaukee Brewer team, they're off to a pretty good start, and they've gone into San Diego and won 3 out of 4 ball games this weekend. So they're hitting definitely pretty decent this season here, is this Milwaukee Brewer team. And we know Miley, he's up there in age. We know he's a journeyman in the major leagues, but he still could go out there, get innings, and he's still getting results. So right now, while he's out there, like I said, in a lot of leagues at 83%, he's definitely a guy we'll go out there and add this week. The next guy, Johan Oviedo of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Oviedo's come out of nowhere this season. After the last few seasons, he was with the St. Louis Cardinals, and he really hasn't done much. But right now, he's gone out there, and he's pitched good baseball the last 2 outings. After the first outing of the season for him, he didn't get anything done. So on the season here for Oviedo, 1-1 record on the year, 18 in the third, 19 strikeouts, a 2.45 ERA, 1.20 whip, and 2 quality starts. And right now, he's available in tons of leagues at 92%, so he's going out there and he's pitching great baseball for this Pittsburgh Pirate team. I know this Pirate team is one of the worst teams in the league. They're going to be when it's all said and done this season, but right now he's giving them innings, he's throwing the baseball well, and he's pitching good versus pretty good teams as well in the early going. So the few outings here for Oviedo, April 9th versus the White Sox, 6 2/3 got the win, 5 hits, no runs, 5 Ks, quality start in that ball game. And April 14th at the Cardinals, 7 innings, got a tough loss in that one, 6 hits, 1 run, a walk, 10 strikeouts. So right now his next outing will be at the Colorado Rockies, and obviously it's a tough place to pitch with that thin course field there, but he's going out there, he's getting the job done. He might be only a week-to-week type ad here and there, Oviedo, but right now, while he's getting the job done and pitching good baseball, he's definitely a guy we'll go out there and pick up on the wire this week. The next guy's his teammate, Mitch Keller of the Pittsburgh Pirates. A Keller, a former top prospect in this Pirates system, and he's gone out there and he's pitching pretty good baseball as well, is Keller. Right now available in 72% of fantasy leagues on the season, 23 2/3 on the year, 1-0 record, 26 strikeouts, a 3.57 ERA, a 1.36 whip, and 3 quality starts on the year for Mitch Keller. So Keller's gone out there, already 4 starts under his belt on the season for this Pittsburgh Pirate team. And this Pirate team, I know, like I said, they haven't been great over the last few years, and they've got many good ball players on the team, especially with O'Neal Cruz out for a while with his ankle injury. But guys are going out there and they're putting in quality work. So the last few outings here for Keller, April 5th at the Red Sox, 7 innings, got the win, 4 hits, a run, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, a quality start. April 11th versus the Houston Astros, 6 innings, no decision, 6 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 7 Ks, a quality start. And April 16th at the Cardinals, 6 innings in that one, 7 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, 3 Ks, a quality start. So he's pitching good baseball as Keller. Like I said, still out there in a decent amount of fantasy leagues at 72%. And this Pirate team, they're not going to give you much run support, but these guys are still going out there and pitching good baseball in Oviedo and Mitch Keller. Right now, they're definitely 2 guys I would add this week, even on a week hitting Pittsburgh Pirate team. That's not going to get these guys much run support. Obviously, he'll play great baseball. The next guy's Freeland of the Colorado Rockies. So Freeland, a bounce-back season so far for him this year for this Rocky team. And a few seasons ago, he was solid. And now this season, so far in the early going, he's pitching great baseball. Still out there, surprisingly. And probably your last chance to get him if he's going to have another great outing out there in 46% of fantasy leagues. On the season, 18 2/3, 2-0 record, 11 strikeouts, 0.96 ERA, 0.96 whip, and 3 quality starts to kick things off here for Freeland. So his next outing is actually here tonight versus the Pittsburgh Pirates. So the first 3 outings of the year for him, March 31st at the Padres, and that one got the win. 3 hits, no runs, a walk, a K, a quality start. April 6th versus the Nats, 6 2/3 got the win. 4 hits, 2 runs, 5 Ks in that ball game, a quality start. And April 11th versus the Cardinals, 6 innings, no decision, 6 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 5 Ks, a quality start. So like I said, a good outing he's got coming up here tonight versus the Pittsburgh Pirates. We know this Pirate team doesn't have many hitters. And like I said, Freeland's gone out there and he's one of the better pitchers in fantasy baseball right now. So right now, while he's pitching good, and this is probably your last chance if he has another great outing here tonight versus the Pittsburgh Pirates, to go out there and get him. Next guy's Brad Keller of the Kansas City Royals. So Keller right now out there in 88% of fantasy leagues. On the season, off to a good start, 17 innings, 2-1 record, 16 Ks, a 2.12 ERA, 1.12 whip, and a quality start. So right now, Keller out there 88% of fantasy leagues here for fantasy owners. And like I said, he's a guy that's going out there and he's pitching good baseball, and he's on a team as well like Oviedo and the other Keller, where he's not going to get a lot of run support, but it's hard to find good starting pitching on the waiver wire. So right now, while Keller's pitching good and he's up to snuff so far in the early going, it's time to get him. And if he falters off and has a couple bad outings, then you drop him. April 7th at the Giants, 5 2/3 got the win, 3 hits, a run, 3 walks, 3 Ks in that ball game. And April 12th at Texas, a great game versus the Rangers, 6 2/3 got the win, 3 hits, a run, a walk, 7 strikeouts. So right now, his next outing's tomorrow versus the Texas Rangers, where he just came off that good start. So like I said, they don't get much run support over there in Kansas City. They're one of the bottom half teams in the league, in my opinion here. But it's hard to find starting pitching. And right now, while Brad Keller's pitching well, he's a guy to go out there and get this week. And next side, Jack Flaherty of the St. Louis Cardinals. So their former ace is Flaherty, but the last few seasons, injuries have played a major concern for him. And right now, he's still out there in 47% of fantasy leagues. On the season, 15 1/3, 1-1 record, 13 Ks, 1.76 ERA, a 1.50 whip. So this Cardinal team, we know they've had struggles, obviously, in the starting rotation. But right now, Flaherty so far, in the small sample size, he's gone out there and he's pitching good baseball for this Cardinal team. So the first few outings for him on the year, April 1st versus the Blue Jays, 5 innings, got the win, no runs, 7 walks though, which hurts, 4 strikeouts. April 7th at the Brewers, 5 innings, got the loss, 4 hits, 2 runs, 6 walks, 3 Ks. And April 12th at the Rockies, in that one, 5 1/3, 5 hits, a run, a walk, 6 Ks in that ball game. So right now, right here tonight, good matchup versus the Arizona Diamondbacks. This Diamondback team don't really hit the baseball. Cardinals are home in this one, and Flaherty could go out there and have another good outing. So right now, while he's still out there in a mediocre amount of leagues at 47%, this could be the last chance for owners to go out there and get him as well. Obviously, he has another good outing here tonight, possibly, and he's pretty much off all waiver-wise. Next guy's Tylor Megill of the New York Mets. So right here, Tylor Megill, he's out there in a decent amount of fantasy leagues still at 57%, but he's a guy that I could see in this rotation for the remainder of the season. Quintana, he's out to July with the rib injury. Justin Verlander, he's not back yet. Scherzer, he's dealing with some soreness. And Megill, he's been steady so far in the first 3 outings of the season. So on the year here for Megill, 16 innings, 3-0 record, 13 strikeouts, a 2.25 ERA, and a 1.19 whip with a quality start. But the only thing with Megill we've seen over the last few seasons, him get off to a great start, and then he fizzles out the second half of the season or get injured as well, where he's been an injury-prone, obviously, pitcher throughout his career. So the first few outings on the year for Megill, he's had some good matchups as well, obviously, versus the Miami Marlins. April 7th versus Miami, 6 innings, got the win. 3 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 3 Ks. And April 12th versus the Padres, 5 innings in that one, got the win. 3 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 3 Ks. So his next outing is tomorrow at the Los Angeles Dodgers. And we know this Dodger team, one of the best teams in the league for the last decade here. They got good hitting, and it's going to be a tough matchup, no doubt about it, for Megill. So one of his real tests coming up here, even though he had a good test versus the Padres and he held his own and got the win. But the only thing with Megill, he's a 5-inning pitcher at most. He's going to get an opportunity, like I said, pretty much for the remainder of the season. I think he's better than David Peterson. And the Mets are dealing with injuries. Verlander, like I said, Scherzer's banged up. Quintana out to July. So I think he'll have a spot in this rotation as long as he stays healthy here and pitches decent as Megill. So right now, go out there and get him, even with a tough matchup coming up versus the Dodgers tomorrow. The next guy's Mike Clevinger of the Chicago White Sox. So Clevinger a few seasons ago with the Guardians, it really was coming up through the system and was solid, but injuries and off the field issues have been a problem for Clevinger over the last few seasons. On the season, though, he's off to a good start, 16 and a third, 2-0 record, 14 strikeouts, 2.20 ERA, 1.35 whip and a quality start, so this could be the last chance for most fantasy owners to go out there and get him as well. He's only out there right now in 42% of fantasy leagues is Clevinger, so the first few outings of the year, April 2nd at Houston, 5 innings, got the win. 3 hits, 3 walks, 8 Ks in the game. April 8th at Pittsburgh, not a great game. 5 and a third, got the win though. 8 hits, 4 runs, won 2 walks. And April 14th versus Baltimore, 6 innings, no decision. Gave up a hit in that one, 5 walks and 5 Ks. So right now, Clevinger's going out there, he's getting the job done. I know this White Sox team isn't a great hitting team, but as long as he's getting the job done and right now out there in 42% of fantasy leagues, he's definitely a guy we'll go out there and get. Like I said, there's not many options on the waiver wire. Mike Clevinger's a guy right now, like I said, getting the job done, and if he struggles, you just go out there and drop him, but right now, I would go out there and get him. Next guy is Jose Quijada of the Los Angeles Angels, so right now, he's getting some save opportunities, is Quijada. Right now, out there in 71% of fantasy leagues on the season here, he's been solid and perfect. 5 innings, 0-0 record, 2 saves, 4 strikeouts, no ERA, and a 0.40 whip. So right now he's going out there getting the job done for this Los Angeles Angel team. And now, hasn't pitched that much so far in the early going. With this Angel team, it's either been blowouts, victories, or losses for them over the last few weeks in tough ball games. So right now, Quijada, if you need a closer, he's a guy that could get you probably 20, 25 saves this season here, if he's going to be the closer the remainder of the season for this Angel team, and a guy who stays healthy. But like I said, closer is a crapshoot for the most part in fantasy baseball, and you can find a lot of these guys as the season goes on. We see probably about 8 to 10 closing changes throughout a season, or injuries, or whatever the case may be. So right now, while he's out there in 71% of fantasy leagues, and if you need a closer, I think Quijada is a decent add this week here. And like I said, so far he's perfect on the year. And the final pitcher I look to get on the wire this week is a guy in the minor leagues, Mason Miller of the Oakland Athletics. Well, right now we know this Oakland Athletic team, they just don't have many guys right now on the Major League club that can help them. And it's about the future and finding diamonds in the rough. And right now Mason Miller available still in tons of fantasy leagues at 94%. And he's a guy with stash on my roster, because if he comes up, he's going to be in the rotation. And he's a guy with high strikeout type of stuff as well, just called up from AA to AAA, and in his first AAA outing, 11 strikeouts, 5 innings with no hits or no walks. So right now, I think he'll be up sooner than later is Mason Miller. Obvious prospects we haven't seen come up this season, but right now, Mason Miller is a guy, if he comes up, he's going to stay up most likely for the remainder of the season, and he could be a top of the A's rotation. So right now, while he's out there in tons of leagues at 94% before he comes up and could take fantasy baseball by storm a little bit, I will go out there and get him. So that's a few pitches I look to add here in week 3 of the fantasy baseball season.